But that wind will just be causing the crews to blow around a little bit, and the coxes want to be absolutely dead straight before they hear the go.
Yeah, the wind's really picked up, hasn't it? So this is going to be a quick race.
Yeah, you want a bit of tail breeze, but you want flat water, and I think the flat water is what they've got, particularly here where they're alongside Temple Island. And see that Brookes crew powering along, and if anything getting a slight lead already.
Brilliant there from both boats. Nice clean starts, looking great as they blast off the blocks there.
Yeah, they've really moved away nicely together, and don't know what I'm doing suggesting that Brookes have got a lead. It's a small lead, but certainly nothing decisive at this stage. And you come along the island, you're pretty much flat out right now. The little absolutely full length, and the crew from Newcastle looking nice and upright and strong. Cormac, Malloy in the stroke seat, real upright kind of position. More body lean I'm seeing from the Oxford Brookes crew, and they're just getting a little bit more length per stroke out perhaps, and starting to move.
But Cormac, Malloy and Frederick Allison there in the Newcastle boat, furthest away from the picture there in the white boat with blue uniforms with blue star on the blades. They joined as freshmen this year into this cruise, so what an experience that is, stepping into this top university first day and be racing Oxford Brookes on Saturday.
And going toe-to-toe with them here as they come up through the quarter mile. And it's a good one we've got in our hands here. Late on the Saturday semi-final here at Henley. And you know you've got good opposition from Washington waiting for you in the final. And these two are not going to give any ground lightly.
There's going to be a lot of cheers down the banks. Both Newcastle and Brookes always have a big contingent of alumni and supporters on the banks, so people will be going crazy for this one.
Well, we've got some quotes from the Newcastle crew. They said they made a good start, but in their previous races they had a good race with a strong start, and they're going to need that strong start today. And they've put down a marker, they've gone for it, and they've kept the boat right in there with Oxford Brookes.
So much so they snuck up on those little moorhens there. Thankfully they just hopped out of the way. It's got the same side on the Brookes here, so hopefully they'll dodge out of the way as well. But in that Brookes boat, they're pretty militant, they're pretty decisive with this. They'll definitely be having those calls from Gavin of foot plate, which is very much how they keep the focus of just driving it hard on that foot plate in the boat and trying not to pull on that handle.
So when you say foot plate, talk to me about what you think is actually going on in the Brookes boat.
So it's just a real simple basic command which just sort of really emphasises how you'd use your legs to power the boat, and rather not using the smaller muscles in the arms and the back and the shoulders.
Because I suppose that connection is purely through the foot plate, and it's through your hands, and then you've got your backside sitting on the blade on the seat. But really, I guess if all the force through the foot plate connected to your hands, then you make sure nothing's being wasted.
That's it. And an 8 where it's moving so quickly as well, you've got to have that impetus to sort of really get up on the front of the stroke and connect it early, and like the Cox will be saying, connect to the foot plate. Still neck and neck here though. Very exciting race this.
Well, they're through that halfway mark. The position is that crew number 2 is in the lead, and crew number 2 in this race on the Buckinghamshire station is Oxford Brookes A, and they're looking now to try and make the most of that lead. Can they actually move out of sight of the Newcastle University crew? Can they actually just start to get clear water and break a crew? But I don't think you're going to break them down that easily.
Yeah, great race here from Newcastle. I mean, they've got great spirit as a club, don't they? They always have that sort of Canataggio Newcastle, which is sort of a tribute to their Italian coaching staff, Angelo Saverinio and Ciro, who's the assistant coach with them. So it's lovely that they've got their little bit of Italian identity in the sort of the northeast of England there.
A little Canataggio in the northeast. That's fantastic, and I guess they look a little bit like them in the blue outfits. What I guess we want to see is somewhat the aggression and the power and the pace we've seen of the Italian crews, if they can have some kind of a sprint finish. But just seeing them looking so strong in the Brookes crew, it's going to take an awful lot if they're going to make an impact as they're coming down here through the quiet bit before we get to the enclosures.
Brookes are looking very tasty here, and this is a slightly closer race than what Washington had against Yale, so hopefully Brookes will have some in the tank tomorrow, but they've got to close this one off first, and Newcastle are still chasing them on their tail there. Newcastle on the right hand side in that white boat. Looks like they're just taking the rating up, so they're still gunning for them. Gets a little bit quiet here, as you can see on the right hand side, with the trees muffling out the crowds a little bit, and that bank is only a couple of metres deep, so you can't fit too many Newcastle supporters along there. But as soon as we get to the enclosures, I'm sure it's going to be packed with Newcastle fans, and they'll be going crazy.
Well, the Newcastle fans are going to want to really push their crew on. That Oxford Brookes crew went out really hard for the first half of the race, and I saw that time. It was 2:56 through Forley. The record, I've just looked it up, is 2:57. So that is a new record that we've seen through the halfway. So we thought it was a good crew. We thought it was fast conditions. They've already set a record going through Forley. Now they've got to defend the attack which is coming at them from Newcastle at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, and if they love Italy that much, they'll be shouting Andy Ammo, which means let's go, let's go. And here they are, this is fantastic. On right in the tail of Brookes and pushing them hard in record-breaking conditions.
Well, we've seen some fantastic finishes from Italian crews. This crew now from Newcastle are going to need to sprint, because we're coming to the line, and the crew from Oxford Brookes are still looking strong. Passing the progress board, that's probably 10 strokes till the line.
Great racing there from Brookes, such a quality force here in rowing, and that's a top-notch Brookes 8 there. We look forward to seeing how they progress.
Brookes looking strong, looking powerful. Newcastle stepping the rate up, looking to close the gap. They got it down to half a length, but they couldn't come through. In confirmation of that win in the semi-final of the Thames Challenge Cup for Oxford Brookes A over Newcastle University A.